Hello everyone. Welcome to another weekly forecast. I'm Ray, your astrologer, and today we're going to be talking about September 2nd through the 8th. If you've been enjoying these videos, please share them with your friends and subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you like. Let me know. And let's get into it. Let's get into this week. So overall this week, it's a time to learn about yourself. It's really a time to check in and see how you've changed and how you haven't. There are certain parts of ourselves that stay the same through our lives, certain desires or dreams that we have that people carry from childhood into their older years, their senior years. And there's also things that change, there's things that we grow and whether there's lots of different reasons why things change, but we need to check in with ourselves where we're at now and not base our reality off of our past. So that's kind of the general vibe this week. We're going to get more into it each day, starting with Monday. Monday is September 2nd. We're going to have a new moon in Virgo, and we're also going to have Mercury and Leo making a trine to Chiron retrograding in Aries. So just like I was saying, duties change over time. Your responsibilities change over time. How can you help yourself in ways that make sense for where you are now? It could be time to go back to what you know and change up your idea of self-care. Yeah, so think about the ways that you take care of yourself and the things you do that feel good and the things you do that don't feel good or and the things that you want to do that would feel good that you're not doing. With this new moon in Virgo, it's important that we look at not just how we're serving other people, but also how we're serving ourselves and how we're holding ourselves accountable for our beliefs and our responsibilities and our commitments. And part of that is letting go of things that don't make sense for where we are right now. Like for a long time, I would cut my own hair, several years, just because I know how I want it. I have short hair. I like it. It's something I do that I enjoy doing myself. And I recently started going to a barber because, I was like, well, I don't have to do all of this. And it would be nice to not have to worry about it. And sometimes I go and I feel like I'm taken care of, and other times I go of and I feel like I wish I would have just cut it myself. And it's not because they do a bad job, but it's because I enjoy the process of cutting my own hair, of spending that one-on-one time with me, of even just, if I'm grooming my beard, I enjoy just having a little moment with myself. And so think about the little moments you can have with yourself today that you're either not having enough of or maybe you want more of. I don't know. But yeah, we're gonna leave it there for Monday. Next, we have Tuesday. On Tuesday, we're going to have Mars and Gemini making a square to Saturn retrograding in Pisces, and the Moon in Virgo is going to make an opposition to Saturn retrograding in Pisces and a square to Jupiter in Gemini. So this Tuesday the 3rd, don't be too quick to talk on something that you don't know a lot about. Wait until you're more informed before picking apart the details. And so maybe there's something someone is, it's always kind of a difficult experience if you're excited about something and you bring it to someone and then they react to it with a lot of questions, a lot of picking apart, a lot of nitpicking. You say you want to be an artist. How are you going to make money? How are you going to do that? Have you gone to school? Where are you at? Like, someone might just be sharing a dream, or you might just be sharing a dream. And I think with that square to Jupiter and Gemini, it's going to be important to nurture those things rather than question and pick them apart, because we don't need to be critical of things that aren't fully formed or thought out yet. And that's it for Tuesday. On Wednesday, we have September 4th. And we're going to have the moon in Virgo making a trine to Uranus retrograding in Taurus, an opposition to Neptune retrograding in Pisces, a square to Mars in Gemini, and then a trine to Pluto retrograding in Capricorn at the very late degrees right before it enters Libra. We're also going to have Mars entering Cancer this day, one of my favorite things. And Venus in Libra is going to make a square to Ceres, the asteroid, in Capricorn. And so the longer a story gets repeated, the more The longer a story gets repeated, the more blurry its details become. What stories have you clung to that could use some revising? So these stories could be about ourselves, they could be about other people, but I just think of Mars in Cancer and of this aggressive kind of energy of that's what I have natally, by the way. I have Mars in Cancer. And it can be very passive. It can be very difficult to be honest and forthright during these times. And it's normally because we don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. And we kind of just need to get past that. We need to get past the things that make us feel bad. Like, we can't just leave it at, I don't want to have this conversation with someone because it's going to be uncomfortable. I don't want to, change this position I'm at in my job or my relationship because it didn't work out before. And we can't use the past. We can't to hold ourselves back from the future. And we can learn from it, but the lessons that we learn from it, we have to apply it to where we're at now rather than just living the same way that we've been living with, but now we're smarter. Yeah, so just think about it. Think about the things that you tell yourself that you've been telling yourself, whether it's about someone else or about yourself or about a situation that you're just unhappy with. You're unhappy with the story and the narrative that you have, and you want to change that. That's what this Wednesday is about, revising those stories so that they're updated. Maybe you won't even get to a place where you're happy with it. The astrology this month is a little bit difficult, just like it was with August, but you at least need peace with it. And so revise those old stories. And that's it for Wednesday, September 4th. Next, we have Thursday, September 5th. On Thursday, September 5th, we're going to have the moon in Leo. I lied. The moon in Libra, making a conjunction to Venus, also in Libra. Typically, we only get gifts from people that already know us. The act of receiving lies on the axis of sharing. And so I think some people have trouble receiving things and then they feel like they're not receiving very much. And then it makes them reluctant to give and to share. And then that makes other people reluctant to share with them. And we just need an open flow, just a give and receive. It needs to be a process and a cycle and a pattern rather than a bunch of isolated incidents because it's important. It's important that we learn how to work together with each other and how to share things and how to receive them. Because if we don't receive things well, it makes it difficult for other people to give them. And one of the best things you can do if someone is offering you something is to accept it with grace, like humility, like, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Like, no, I don't deserve it. I don't want that. I'm too good for that. None of that. Just allow it. Allow yourself to receive and allow yourself to share. And that's how you might be able to start seeing the value in what you have to give and the value that other people have to offer. And that's going to be it for Thursday, September 5th. Next, we have Friday, September 6th. On Friday the 6th, we'll have Venus in Libra making a conjunction to Juno, the asteroid goddess. And the moon in Libra is going to make a trine to Jupiter in Gemini and a sextile to Mercury in Leo. So a little bit of a break today. It feels a little bit more positive today. Honor your commitments by recognizing the value in keeping them. Commitments shared with others multiply in value. There's a saying, I don't know where it came from. I've heard it in like herbalism circles because it's about medicine and specifically like herbal medicine, like something that you would prepare for someone, maybe even like from growing it yourself. And it's that a gift's value increases with each hand that it touches. Meaning, if you give someone something and then they found it so useful that they wanted it, and not only useful, but valuable and resilient, something that lasts for a minute, not something that you use once and then it served its purpose, something that you can use a long time. The value is increased because from this person to this person to this person, it leaves a trail of experiences that have been touched by that thing, by that gift, by that medicine. In this case, it's medicine. And so think about your commitments with others because the value in them multiply. Like, you both get something out of it. and you're able to use those things in other relationships as well, and it multiplies. And so when ourselves are the only part of the equation, it gets a little murky and it gets a little difficult because the more isolated something is, the increased chance for chaos. That's the science world, how they would say it. But we're not meant to just look at our lives or ourselves as just us or just us alone. I mean, even our body is an ecosystem. There's multiple organisms that make up our body, not just organs and systems of organs, but organisms themselves, living things inside us, on us, that work to make us function. Like we're a multifaceted being. And that's it for Friday, the 6th. Next, we have Saturday the 7th, September 7th. We're going to have Mercury in Leo making a square to Uranus retrograding in Taurus, the Moon in Libra making a square to Pluto retrograding in Capricorn, and then after it's done with that square, it's going to enter Scorpio and make a trine to Mars in Cancer. And so the right amount of tension strengthens its parts. Allow pressure to be part of your process. I don't remember exactly when it was, but a few months ago I wrote horoscopes or did a forecast for something, and it kept boiling down to like pressure is part of the process. And I think it is just the part of a lot of processes, the process of life and of learning and experiencing things. And without that pressure, when things are too easy, we take for granted what we have and we don't see the value in what we have because it was easy to get. We didn't have to do a lot of work for it to be finished or, received. And when we're not doing that work for a long period of time, the value of things just decreases, and the more convenient things become, the lesser value they have because it's not something that we worked really hard to do or to make. It's something that someone else did. Yeah, just allow pressure to be part of your process. When you have the right amount of it, it should strengthen everything. It should be making it stronger and allowing you to be flexible. If it's so tense that you don't have any flexibility, it's too tense. And if it's so lax that you don't feel like you're making any progress, whether it's difficult or easy, because sometimes you can make a lot of progress and it'd be easy and that's nice. But if you just feel kind of stuck, then maybe that feeling itself is tension, feels very tense, but sometimes I think it's because there's a lack of tension in other areas, and then once it kind of evens out, we feel a little bit more relaxed. That's it for Saturday, September 7th. Next we have September 8th, Sunday. On Sunday, we're going to have the Sun in Virgo making an opposition to Saturn retrograding in Pisces. The asteroid Pallas Athena enters the sign of Sagittarius, and the Moon in Scorpio makes a trine to Saturn retrograding in Pisces and a sextile to the Sun in Virgo. So on this Sunday, reality and dreams are both things that you're part of. Your actions are the bridge between now and the future, what is and what can be. So again, this whole week we're just checking in with ourselves. We're seeing where we're at and where we want to be and trying to use the lessons from our past to help strengthen our decisions in the present so that we can have a stronger and healthier future. Your actions are that bridge between now and later. And it's just important to keep that in mind. I think when we move mindfully about the longevity and the impact of our actions, we can move in a different way than we do just kind of going through the motions. And so we're not going to overcomplicate it. We're going to leave it at that. That's it for Sunday, September 8th. And that's it for this week. So I appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. Please feel free to let me know what kind of future content you would like to see in the contents. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, go ahead and like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. And if you're ready for a more personal forecast or have something you want to talk with an astrologer about, check out my website to see if any of the services are a good fit for you. I would love to talk astrology together as your personal astrologer. Thanks for watching, stay safe, and have fun. I'll see you guys next week.